fun to do bad things, to drive into a car.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're working on the GS300 and I've been avoid doing this because we are going to be installing a new VVTI gear in the GS300. So brand new from Lexus VVTI gear right here. The problem was I installed this gear when I did the timing belt on the GS300. I thought I messed up the timing belt because it started ticking. So I put the old VVTI gear back to see if that was the issue. Still is ticking. And I realized there's nothing wrong with the car, no checking the lights, it's just really loud ticking. And so I didn't realize, I knew the old VVTI gear was leaking, but I didn't realize it was leaking that much. And it kind of sucks to drive because it pours out of the VVTI gear. So what we're gonna do today is install the new gear. But yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass to get to because you gotta take out the radiator, the what's it called, the pulleys, and then a belt and a new tensioner. So we're gonna do all that today. Hopefully we get done quick, but let's get into it. So first things first, you're gonna wanna drain the coolant. There should be a drain switch somewhere underneath here. You can see this knob right here. You're gonna twist it and it's gonna come out. So I'm gonna drain it. While it drains, I'm gonna head to the auto parts store and get a crank pulley puller. You can see that pool of oil right there. That is from the VVTI gear, and it's getting everything wet, and that's not a good thing. So we gotta take this bolt out, and there's another bolt in there, but we can't take out this gear. Let's take off this belt, and take off this belt. You gotta take off the pulleys down there and this belt. So yeah, I'm draining the coolant right now. So that's draining. Take off the air box right here. There should be bolts here, here, here. Then you're gonna wanna loosen it right here. Take this hose off right here, which just did that right now, and to come out. All right, now that's out of the way, you have a lot more room. So you're gonna take out the radiator, which is right here, and then you just wanna undo these hose clamps. And then there's a couple wires for the fan, which is down there. Don't forget there's another one down here for the hose, and you can pull this radiator up. Also, you wanna pull off your accessory belt. You wanna put a bolt 14 little socket on there, pull up, and it will loosen the tensioner, and you can pull the belt off. All right, next you're gonna want to time your engine, make sure the dots are lined up. So you're gonna spin it to the right, and I'll show you when the dots are lined up. I'm gonna reuse this belt, so I'm gonna mark it with paint so it goes in exactly where it needs to be. All right, you can see where the lines are met up with the grooves up here. So right here, right here, right here, right here, and right there it's at 0. I'm gonna get paint and mark around it so I know exactly where it's going to go in. Mark the belt, mark around it, and then yeah, it should be pretty easy. So next thing you got to do is take out this radiator. It's done draining, but I'm gonna head to the store and get a puller so we can pull out this crank right here. All right, next thing to do is to break this loose. It is a 22 millimeter. I'm gonna try my impact because it might not be tight, but who knows, we'll give it a try. All right, so the impact didn't work, so I got this crank pulley holder. It's for Toyotas, and it's holding on against the frame. I got my breaker bar right here. Gonna try to break it. All right, so I marked the belt so I know exactly where it's lined up. I'm gonna line up perfectly where those lines are. And then you can see down there it's still aligned. I broke the bolt loose, you can see right here. And now we're gonna use the harmonic balance puller that I got. But before we take that out, let's take out this tensioner right here, 3 14 millimeter bolts, and then it will just come off. And then after that, you can take off this pulley right here, 10 millimeter bolts. This comes out, and then you can take off right here. All right, so now you're gonna wanna remove the bracket that holds the power steering pump. You could take off the pulley, but I'm being lazy right now. But if you just loosen the bolts, there's one right here, one right here, one right here. You can pull this out, the bracket will drop, and then you can access the cover to the timing belt bolt right here, which is why we need to remove that bracket out of the way. All right, one thing I want to do first is actually take off this bolt right here, holding the cover to the VVTI gear. And there's another bolt inside. I want to do this because the belt's holding it in place, so this won't spin freely. I don't think it's good for the belt, but I'll probably change this belt not in the near future pretty soon. All right, so this is the other bolt that's inside. You can see this oil on there. So I'm using another breaker bar to hold the crank pulley, and then this is gonna break it the other way. All right, I took out the bolt. I put that back on because I wanted to stop leaking oil everywhere, and we can pull that off later. But now we can take off the crank pulley. Make sure you line everything back up because right now it's out of time. But the belt's still on, so you just gotta spin that and it'll put everything back in time. All right, I got the harmonic balancer puller. This is brand new. I might actually just keep it from AutoZone, but this is how we're gonna pull the harmonic balancer on there. So you can get the tip right here to shove it in there. Should pop in like that, and then probably gonna use, I think, these 2 bolts, and we should be able to pull it out. All right, so this is how I have it set up. You can see better because I couldn't film with both hands. So you have it bolted to 2 holes right there, and then you just spin this against the crank. It'll push against the crank right here, and it'll pull it out. And then now we can just take out this cover, which should be a bunch of 10. So one right here, one right here, right here, and then one at the very bottom right here, and right there. The belt is surprisingly dry for how much oil has been shooting everywhere, but you gotta take off the tensioner. Should be 2 12s, one in here, and then one on the other side. That will come out, and then we can take this out, and then we can finally pull out the VVTI gear. All right, I got the tensioner out of the way. Now the belt's loose. Really don't gotta do anything else but to take out this. This should come freely now. It should just wiggle out because we already loosened it inside. So I'm gonna try to pull it out with my hands. All right, so I pulled out this gear as well because I want to take a look at the cam seals behind it. I did replace it, but I just want to make sure that's not the leaking part, because if that is, it's best time to change it. I'm pretty sure I did it right, but you know, you never know. So we're already at the stage, might as well check. So take out this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, should come out. All right, so the seals actually look pretty good. I don't see any leaks. So that's a good thing. So just the VVTI gear was leaking. So we're just gonna put everything back. So we're gonna put this back and start putting the gears back. All right, got the new gear in. You can see it's lined up. So we're gonna put the belt on, and then we're gonna put the new tensioner on. All right, I got the new tensioner on and then the pulley. Now everything is just reversed. So we're gonna put the cover back on, the crank, and then just bolt up everything back together slowly. And make sure everything is lined up. All right, I got the cover on, got the crank on. So everything else you just got to put piece by piece. So next is going to put the pulley right here, more pulleys right here, connect that pulley and the last cover. But we're going to spin it right now to make sure. We're going to do 2 full rotations, and then if it lines up back again, that means you are in time. Everything is back together. I didn't put the radiator in, but I'm gonna start the car, make sure the car runs, and then once everything's good on that end, we'll just put the radiator back and bleed the coolant. All right, the car is back together. New VVTI gear. I don't see any leaks. It runs good. I mean, probably got to run it for a little while to get some pressure in there. But yeah, everything runs good. No issues. I'll put the timing cover later. But yeah, I'm going to fill it up with coolant. I got everything tight. Got to fill up the radiator. And then we can just bleed the radiator and the car should be able to drive. All right, so that's it for today's video. I got the car running. Everything's good. You can see the gear is spinning. So it's pretty easy, just a little tedious. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one.